What's up, everybody? It's the DLLS Cowboys podcast. We're about to move on from Philly and move onward towards the New York Giants. But first, what does the film tell us about Brian Schottenheimer's debut as the head coach, how Dak fits with him, what we learned about a bunch of different things? Let's get cooking. The show starts. Meow. Everybody, welcome into the DLLS Cowboys podcast. It is good to be with you guys today. Happy that you're here with us as well, as we will continue to react to the Cowboys' opening loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. We will also work our way towards the New York Giants, and we will talk about some film breakdown things and what happened in that game and what we know about Brian Schottenheimer as a play caller, Dak Prescott playing with him, the linebacker group and how they fared. You interested in Tyler Guyton? Got some of that for you. And the Cowboys pressuring the quarterback without Micah Parsons. Holy cow, what a show. My name is Jeff. I'm seated next to former Cowboy wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
And I'm dedicating today's show. You know, sometimes I believe in the Lord, and I sometimes love that he'll send you in directions that you don't know and don't understand. And so I was sent out last Wednesday, and I met some really great people. Kim, Kevin, and Miss Rita over at Champion Realty School. And I got a chance to spend some time with them and share stories, and just great, great people. And, you know, I have this hat up here today that says, long live like Knox did. It was their son who tragically passed away at 12 years old. And so I told them that I would have this hat on the show today to represent Knox, and just meeting different people in these really, you know, unique situations. You get to hear their stories and realize that there are, you know, people that go through things, but they triumph from it, and they're helping so many other people through their tragedy. So, so to Kim, to Kevin, to Miss Rita, we're going to live like Knox did.
That's awesome and wonderful and powerful, and hard to follow up when I say that I'm dedicating my performance on today's show to Pink. So shout out to what Jesse said.
Shout out to Knox. Shout out to Knox.
It was either that or Bernie Sanders. Feel the burn.
The burn.
One or the other. This is our Big Brothers, Big Sisters of America month right here on the DLS Cowboys podcast as well. And this week, our Super Chats are turned back on. You can come get some if you want to get in the Super Chat. But this week, we're encouraging you to sign up to become a Big at bbbs.org/ALLCITY. And what that does is you become a mentor for a young person who could use you and help reshape futures, strengthen communities, drive economic progress. Together, we can change the odds and build a better tomorrow. So go to bbbs.org/ALLCITY and sign up to be a Big. How about that? Want to start the show with the Cowboys offensively. We were talking before the show about how we still don't know what to take away from Cowboys-Eagles in week one.
Yeah.
Where there's no way around the fact that you were playing the Super Bowl champs and could have, I'm comfortable with the word should have, beat them.
You had a damn good chance.
Jake, catch a ball that you catch 98% of the time. CD, catch some of the balls that you catch 98% of the time, and you should win that football game. That's good. That could make you feel better than you might have coming into the season, although you could feel like, well, yeah, but should have led to 0-1, and so I don't feel better. I don't know how you're supposed to feel about that. And then digging into some of the particulars of what we've learned when you have the time to go back and revisit and watch all the different things that happened in that game, you obviously find things that can take you in both directions. But one of them that takes me in a positive direction is I do think you're on track for having a head coach who does get it as an NFL play caller.
Mm-hmm.
I think my initial takeaway from Brian Schottenheimer and Dak running an offense is very positive.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, you take, we had the number last week from Mina Kimes where once upon a time the Cowboys didn't run a lot of motion, which is just a very basic demand of an NFL offense these days if you're trying your best. And it's kind of evolved to where now you want to have a guy in motion literally when you snap the ball because it puts people in conflict and it gives you help as an offense. And how often they did that against the Eagles would have qualified for top 5 last year in the NFL as opposed to the 29th or 31st or whatever that they actually were a year ago.
Right.
So I feel good that my head coach as a play caller gets it.
Right.
That I like. And I love the way that Dak played. I wish that he had gotten better results from some of the guys around him. But we can dig into some of that later. But your first impressions of Schotty and Dak?
Thumbs up as well. I thought coming into this season, you know, and Schotty talked a lot the offseason about what he wanted this team to be, how he wanted this team to perform. And, you know, and I was a man, and I don't know if I apologized, but I did say kudos to you, Schotty.
Yeah.
Because the things that you were talking about were the things that I definitely didn't apologize.
No, you didn't apologize.
Didn't apologize. I don't think there was a reason to apologize.
At all. You didn't.
I don't think there was a reason to apologize.
That's fine.
But I was acknowledging that Schotty definitely did some of the things that he talked about doing all offseason. The motion, to trying to have the physical running game. And I initially thought first-time head coach, Thursday night game, defending world champs. I did, coming into that game, I said, man, I think this is going to be too much for him. And it wasn't. It wasn't. I thought he called a really good game. He got away from the motion a little bit in the second half. Kind of got a little bit stale in the second half. I don't know if that was a rain delay or
the weather delay. Both offenses just went from marching to nothing.
Right.
It was wild.
So I don't know what. And again, play callers, they get in the rhythm as well. Like, it's like players. Once you get rolling, you get in the rhythm, and sometimes that rain delay can you stall out as well. But initially, I thought it was great. I thought Dak looked strong. I thought he looked healthy. He didn't look rusty. He came out firing, and a lot of people say, well, see, Jesse, you don't need preseason. Oh, okay, I still feel that preseason reps can help a team out, and maybe you don't have the mistakes that you had in some of those places if you had some preseason reps, but that's neither here nor there. I thought overall, Schotty looked good coming out for his first game. I thought Dak looked really good. He made some really good throws. The seam ball, we all know that's his ball, right? Like, that's if there's a pass that Dak says, this is what I'm bringing to the table, it's the seam throw, right? And we saw him attack that throw, and his teammates didn't help him out in the moments where he needed help about the most. I'm still looking at answers on the one play where Tolbert and CD ended up in the same spot. Somebody's wrong.
And that was a CD drop, right?
That was a CD drop.
Yeah.
Someone's wrong.
Right.
I don't know who's wrong. I don't know if it's CD. I don't know if it's Tolbert. I don't know if CD had the post, the big post, and Tolbert had a seam, but that wouldn't make any sense either because you're running into it. Somebody was wrong in that situation.
Blame Tolbert.
I don't know what. No, I don't want to just blame Tolbert.
Oh wait, I thought the thing he does right is he goes to the right place. We have to blame CD.
I don't want to blame Tolbert. If CD, if you're gonna be wrong, you got to be right in making the catch. But thumbs up to Schotty, thumbs up to Dak Prescott, and I said this to you guys before. I'm still standing on this. This is going to be the best statistical year that Dak Prescott has. It is.
If people catch the ball when he throws it to them in the end zone.
CD's going to catch the ball.
What about Ferg?
Ferg's going to catch the ball. That might have just been first game jitters, but statistically, you're going to see passing attempts because Dak threw the ball 37 times, 34 times in that game, right? Coming out the gate. And normally they say when Dak throws the ball 35 plus times, the team doesn't usually win the game. But that's how they're going to win the game. That's how they're going to stay in games. This game would have been won through the air had the passes been caught on the other end. It wasn't because of Dak. He didn't do it. Now, there was some passes that he had in between that. He was like, all right, now, you got away with a couple of those that should have been going the other way. But this is going to be Dak's best statistical year. Now, I don't know if that leads him into the MVP, and I don't know if that necessarily means that that's going to equal out to wins. I just know that he's going to do some things statistically this year with this offense and these weapons that he has to do, that this team needs him to do. that will rival any other year he's played in the National Football League.
So I was just donging around a little bit on next-gen stats.
Okay.
Because what I like to do, and you guys can hate it if you want to. I know some of you hate numbers, and that's okay. I kind of hate them too if they ever confuse me. But I just wanted to see what some of his next-gen stats things looked like. Because, I mean, I watched Dak play that game, and I went, wow, he played great. He had an awesome game. And his stat line at the end of it is like, QB rating, not real good. Total QBR, not real good. Not a bunch of yards, not a bunch of touchdowns. I'm like, well, yeah, that's pretty easy to dissect. CD left 100 yards on the field and a touchdown. Jake left 30 and a touchdown on the field easily. And it's like, well, that sucks. But the combination of Dak and Schotty just through 1 week is super fun. Dak held the ball the 6th longest in the NFL, which I don't want you at the very top of that list because you're just begging for sacks. You're begging for trouble. But their protection against Philadelphia was okay. It wasn't great.
Right.
And the fact that you still were able to hold the ball for a reasonable amount of time, not always be in a hurry, and the fact that Dak's intended air yards, which is just every pass you threw, where did you throw it to, and on average, how far down the field was that, was some of the deepest in the league in week 1. And they were accurate. So they're moving people around pre-snap. They're playing aggressive offense with where they are targeting, with where they are throwing the ball. He's willing to hold the ball despite the fact that his protection's not perfect or great. I just think that's a lot of promise for what this season should look like. Somehow he completed more than was expected by the computers with 5 drops. So okay, so you're throwing it pretty damn good. So what I'm saying is Dak's back, and that's good. Because last year you had a wonky little however many weeks he played before he got hurt. He didn't look great. But now he moves around well. What he does the best, and we'll talk about this a little bit later when we talk about Tyler Guyton, they might be able to survive the fact that both their offensive tackles have some struggles in pass protection because of the quarterback. Mm-hmm. Like if you give him the middle, he does it right. A lot of NFL quarterbacks do this. Like Green Bay is probably my favorite one to pick on. But Jordan Love will just keep backing away from pressure and eventually throw a fadeaway. Yeah. And about half the time, you're like, wow. And he made a big play. And about half the time, you're like, oh, he tried to throw a pick. Like, that's a bad plan.
Right.
To just backpedal, whee! Whereas Dak, if you get pressure from the outside, he doesn't flinch. It's, this guy got beat? Cool. I'll just one step, keep looking. Like, he's got it. He can handle that. Now, if it's both, that could be a problem if you get a little high-low action. But he can handle that. If you can block up the interior, which I think they'll be able to with Smith, Beebe, Booker, and you've got a play caller that looks like he knows what he's doing. You've got a quarterback who can navigate that pocket that through 1 week is playing aggressive football and throwing a hell of a ball. We're cooking with something.
No, but Dak's pocket awareness is really good. Like, he's always had really good pocket awareness. Where he gets in trouble is, and this is the part where sometimes when Dak's, he's at his best when it's top of the drop, balls out.
Yeah.
It's when he begins to hold the ball a little bit too much is where he can get himself into trouble. And then sometimes when he has to play through zone coverages, 7-man drop, 6-7-man drop into coverage. But he's so strong. And I think that's why he's confident in the pocket and not willing. He knows that he doesn't have the Jordan Love arm strength, so he's not backing up.
No, but he got that.
But he had that. I mean, he got out of a sack in that game where he was dead to rights.
Yeah.
And
it looked like he was done with the play. He was
right.
Like, oh, wait.
I'm still standing. And that part always gives you hope. And when you don't have when you have Lamar Jackson or those guys in the backfield, it sometimes throws your offensive lineman off because they're like, well, you're supposed to be right here, but you bailed a little bit early.
Where did you go?
So you run into a sack. But Dak mainly wants to be in the pocket, stays in the pocket, navigates the pocket really well. He has that strong lower body, and he understands my passes are going to be most accurate when I'm being able to set my feet and throw the ball down the field. So there's no need for me to get out of the pocket and start trying to do all the other stuff that's not conducive to me having success as a quarterback. And that's where he understands, and that's why that pocket is clean. And if they can keep it clean, he'll be able to deliver the ball down the field.
And we have other guys that we need to break down what things look like in week 1 and how we feel about it moving forward. And we're going to do that in a segment that's coming up next. It's called What Does the Tape Say?
Nice.
That's next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
What's going on, good people? Let me tell you about my friends, Branded Bills. Whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees, Branded Bill has you covered with performance and style. Looking for some gear to make your brand stand apart in the crowd? Branded Bill has you covered with the best custom headwear. Start your order, and then the dedicated team will help you create the exact custom appeal that you need. And they have partnerships with 40, hear me out, 40 of the campus collection with schools like TCU, Texas, Texas Tech, and more. All you have to do is head on over to brandedbills.com, and use the promo code BBDLLS and get 15% off your first order. That's BBDLLS for 15% off your order. Head over there now. Start your apparel. It's college football season. The NFL season is coming. You have all these functions. Head over there and get your custom gear today.
Let's talk about our friends at Monarch Money as well. Monarch Money is going to be disappointed in me at the moment because I'm currently owed $215 because they finally got me for my registration being out. They finally got me. I see you, Officer Gonzalez. You got me. Tried to deport me too, kind of. Yeah. We can get into that later. He said something about my license. It seemed like I might just be here temporarily, and I'm like, I guess I got to go back to Ireland. But anyway. At Monarch Money, you get your financial command center. You link all your accounts together, and that way you have your best chance at not leaving money on the table, which is something that I absolutely tend to do.
Yep,
you don't want to leave money on the table. Get everything in one spot there with our friends at Monarch Money and get 50% off your first year when you use the promo code DLLS. It's not just another budgeting app. It's your financial command center. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use our code DLLS at monarchmoney.com. for half off your first year. 50% off the first year at monarchmoney.com, code DLLS. It is the DLLS Cowboys podcast, and I would like to debut a segment on this show that is called What Does the Tape Say?
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 I asked people on the internet if I were going to do that every week, what would you like to hear about this week? And the overwhelming vote was actually for the linebackers, which we talked a little bit about last week, but I was like, that's fine. I'll deep dive, and I'll handle the linebackers. But then I also audibled, and I watched Tyler Guyton this morning because I think that people care about Tyler Guyton, and I wanted to do that. So what do you want first? You want Tyler Guyton or you want the linebackers?
Because I already heard the linebackers, I want Tyler Guyton.
Okay, so Tyler Guyton, and once again, Jeff's 17th reminder of the week. What we do not do on this show is go to a website that puts a number grade on people and go, that's how they played. It's not what we do around here. We watch them.
We watch the tape.
And those people are trying their best, and I believe that they are watching and trying their best.
God bless those people.
God bless those people. I like the website. I have a membership. I pay for it because I love a bunch of the stats that they bring me, and there are things there that I like. I'll grade it myself. Thank you very much.
Monarch Money says you probably shouldn't.
Yeah. So Pro Football Focus gave Tyler Guyton like a 29 pass blocking grade, and I'm like, damn. So whatever. I went and watched. If you thought that Tyler Guyton had a great day at the office, I think upon further review, you're mistaken.
Yeah.
He did not have a great day at the office. If you think that Tyler Guyton got you killed, like he did pretty much every time he took the field last year, I think that's mistaken too, which is progress.
Yes.
Okay? So here's what I would say. I would say
Sam Williams has progress, 99, 65. We got Tyler Guyton.
Correct.
Getting you killed, almost getting you killed.
Not totally getting you killed.
Not totally getting you killed.
He did allow 5 pressures. No one else on the line allowed more than 2. So Tyler Guyton did have the most struggles, although those are just numbers, as we'll get to later in the show, because somebody said the Cowboys' pressure rate in this game was like towards the top of the NFL, which means that we don't need Micah. We rush the passer. Great. We're going to teach you how numbers work in that segment. They all require context. And so here's your Tyler Guyton context. I, through one regular season game, feel pretty good about where Tyler Guyton's headed. Through 1 year of him playing pro football, I felt real bad about where Tyler Guyton was headed.
Okay.
And I think that the major difference is
He got rid of Canes.
That's probably part of it.
That's probably true. That's probably
changing your diet will help you be better at stuff,
especially Canes.
But I think the biggest difference is the guy who's playing left tackle for the Cowboys this year believes he can do the job. Like when you watch him, there's no doubt. Like he is not out there. In year one, I feel like he was a bad body language and playing like anticipating how am I going to lose?
No confidence.
Right. The guy who's playing now, I think he does have that confidence. You can see it. He's a different player in the way that he's approaching his pass protection, his blocking, the way that he wants to finish plays. So I think there's two major differences. One, I don't think people are overpowering him anymore, which could be a combination of things as a rookie. One, you could be technically, like if we put weights on your back and we measure how strong are you, there's how strong you are. And then it's okay, but now you're in a football game and all these things are going on in your head. You could just have somebody bull rush you because you're worried about 17 different things. He doesn't look worried about 17 different things anymore, and he looks like he wants to initiate the contact, and he wants to play with violence, and he is strong enough, and he has more confidence. He is not perfect. He did give up 5 pressures. He's still susceptible to if a dude gets off the ball well and is straight turning the corner, he can get him. And he can also be gotten the exact opposite way, which is I got away from the ball well, you know that I did, and now you're spinning back inside or countering, and I'm not totally prepared or quick enough to cover that ground. So, like, didn't have a perfect game. I wouldn't call it overall good in pass protection, but I think the mentality that he now shows up with, the confidence that he plays with, he's not going to end up as a boulder rolling downhill of uh-oh.
Right.
I think he's going to come out of it and be like, all right, show me the mistakes. Okay. How am I going to correct that one? How am I going to correct this one? And it wasn't just the time that he threw his Popeye the Sailor Man left hook.
What a great left
that one
hook.
time.
What a great left
but
hook.
But he did throw that. But no, he was looking to finish guys consistently. Like he wanted to initiate contact. He wanted to put people on the ground. Tyler Guyton's playing with way more confidence and better play strength. And the rest of it is probably better than a year ago in terms of his technique. But that'll be a work in progress. But I think the player on the field believes that he can do the job. And I believe that he'll develop into the player that can do the job.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing for the jump from year 1 to year 2 is the confidence. If you believe that you can do something, that plays out better for you. You step on the field and you have that level of confidence. We heard this offseason, his trainer, Duke Manyweather, says, if Tyler Guyton is going to get better, it's going to be on him. And that's a part of the maturity of learning the position, strength training, becoming a man. You know, you talked about his off the field, changes, whether it was the diet, whether it was just taking things a lot more serious. Because we talk a lot about, being a professional and what it takes to be a professional. It's not just the X's and O's part of it. It's everything else. It's the training. It's the dieting. It's the eating right. It's the believing that you belong out there. I thought one of the things that Schotty did for him was tell him it's your game.
Right.
Like when you sit back and you hear the talk that's been talked about you all offseason, and it's not good. And he's even admitted to that. And then you get to camp, and then 2-3 days into camp, you go down with an injury. And now you have Nate Thomas is in there, and he's faring pretty well. So in the back of your mind, you're probably saying to yourself, man, is this where I lose my job? But it seems as if he kept his confidence and the coaches kept talking to him and kept giving him the confidence. And then when he got back fully healthy, as the season progressed, as training camp progressed and he got back healthy for the season, they said, no, it's your job. You're still our starting left tackle. And so going out there and faring well, he wasn't great. He wasn't close to great, but he wasn't trash. And so that is progress.
Not trash is step one.
That is progress.
Step one.
That's progress. And what he has to now is to put together more games where he's not trash. And I think that would bode well. Now, he's going up against the Giants football team this week. As a whole, the Giants may not be a good football team. What the Giants are really good at is up front on their defensive line. They have a host of pass rushers that will come at you relentlessly, and they rotate them, and they got some veterans. They got a young stud in there. Of course, they got Dexter Lawrence in there. But you're gonna have to deal with Burns. You're gonna have to deal with Thibodeau. You're gonna have to deal with Abdul Carter.
Yeah, that's
and
the problem.
So all these things now, if that confidence is going to take another gigantic step, another gigantic leap, you go out there and you fare well against these guys. You go out there and you play well against these guys because the Giants know that we're probably not going to get much offensively. So if we are able to stay in some of these football games, it's going to be because what we are able to do in the defensive front. And trust and believe you me, they're looking at number 60 and going, he's food. We saw him last year. We saw what we were able to do with him last year, what team was able to do to him last year. We're going to see if he actually corrected that this year.
And you know they think the same thing about your right tackle.
Sure.
Yeah. Both of them tackles. And Dexter Lawrence doesn't care who he lines across from.
Not a bit.
Yeah. I would pay to go to Giants training camp for a day just because their D-line is really, really good.
Yeah.
And their O-line is me and you.
Yeah.
But like 5 of us. And like, can you even run a practice like that? Like, do you just have to tell the D-line, chill out?
Just
yeah. Stop.
Yeah, you have to tell them chill out.
Please let them run the play.
Yes.
Let Russ run the play. You know that he will hold the ball and take a sack on every play, and you guys are getting there too fast anyway, and it's not even fun. So that'll be interesting to watch. Linebackers. And what does the tape say? Ooh. I do have a suggestion to improve your team. Now, you know what? I want to talk to the people for a second.
All right, you got it.
Because I see it in the chat again. And I see this in the chat all the time. And here's what I want to know. Which one is this? This one.
No, you're right here. This is you. Yeah. Your one shot's there.
Now I'm there. John, you messing with me?
No, now
John?
you're right there.
Now
Boom.
I'm there.
Where do you want to
go?
Right
What
there?
did Damone Clark do to y'all? Like, I don't know what he did to Mike Zimmer, and I don't know what he did to y'all. Because if I fire off a tweet talking about, hey, I'm going to talk about the Cowboys linebackers, it's like, as long as they could just bench Damone Clark. What did Damone Clark do to y'all? Okay, I play Leofau replaces Damone Clark. I still don't understand how Damone Clark has a jersey. Clark simply looks lost, and it's just not his scheme. Clark was lost again. Here's what the tape says about the Cowboys linebackers in that game. Damone Clark's your best linebacker. And I'm not saying that Clarence, I thought, had a great line that I'm going to steal forever. You don't have a plus player.
Yes.
Like, there's not a dude out there that is going to make a Pro Bowl. There's not a guy out there that is here's the baseline for a starting NFL linebacker. He's better than that because you don't have one. But when we're just talking about, hey, they played the football game, who did the best job playing that position? The answer is Damone Clark. He was your best linebacker. Maybe Leofau was, if you want to count a guy who played 6 plays.
6 plays.
He played 6 plays. So he dropped back a few times, and he took on a block one time, and he was out there for 6 plays. He was the best one you had. And I don't know what he did to people, that he's the punching bag. And I don't want anyone to be the punching bag, but if you're looking for the guy who hurt you the most,
K9.
It's Kenneth Murray. Kenneth Murray is the linebacker that hurt the Cowboys the most. And that's the sort of player that even during the offseason when they traded for him, I'm like, you realize you're trading for somebody that the other team is shocked that somebody was willing to eat his salary, much less give him a draft pick. And that's the sort of player acquisition that I hate that the Cowboys do a lot. That's the sort of stuff that I bitch about when it comes to like guys like Micah Parsons, like when Micah let go and when they talk about pie, because so often what they do to fill up their salary cap is they'll bring in guys that they know they could get way more football player for that amount of salary, but they're bringing this guy in on a 1-year deal, so it fills up that cap like that, and I don't have to write a signing bonus to somebody that's $50 million that would count $9 million this year because he would count more later, and I'd have to give him a bunch of cash money. They fill up their salary cap with those sorts of players where they're like, I can sell you on the idea that he was a first-round pick. We liked him 4 years ago, and he fills up some of that cap space so that we don't have to fill it up by writing huge checks to guys that would count that same amount that are actually $30 million players. The Eagles ran 38 run plays, and I texted you guys last night, and then I ended up tweeting it. I wanted to see, when does he make his first positive contribution on these 38 run plays? And the answer was on the 24th one, was his first positive contribution. So passive, and if you pull a lineman or misdirect in any way, shape, or form, he'll either freeze or go the wrong direction for a while. Like, you'll have plays where they ran a nice little toss play to Saquon out to the left, where they sold it with some pulling offensive linemen, like, watch out, we're going this way. But then Hurts pitches it to a guy who's running left. And so on that play, you had Damone Clark on the play side, Sanborn's in the middle, Murray's on the other side. The guys start to pull, and Clark and Sanborn go step the wrong way because they're reading the offensive line. And then they see that the quarterback is pitching the ball to the running back going that way. And so, here we go. By the time they get all the way over to the play is happening, Kenneth Murray is still peeking around the wrong way. And it's just like, I don't. And there's a later play where he takes out Jack Sanborn because he doesn't want to take on the offensive lineman in front of him. And so he just waits and waits. And then he's like, I guess I need to do something. And the something he does is blocks Jack Sanborn, who's doing his job. Like, Kenneth Murray is the linebacker that's really hurting you. I would say Jack Sanborn was very he's out there.
Watch your mouth now.
He's out there.
That's my guy.
You're not going to get some massive, like, oh, my God, you screwed that up. But you're not going to get the, hey, yeah, great job. And Damone Clark, like, I'm not saying that he made, like, a big positive impact on the game. But it's just weird that he's the punching bag when he just goes out and does his job. And he does it fine. And, like, for some reason, for him, fine means you suck. And there's other guys who are playing way worse football that don't really get talked about. And that's just weird to me. Let me know what Damone did to y'all. I don't even know. I don't know. But anyway, that's that. That's what does the film say. Coming up next, let's talk about this Cowboys pass rush without Micah Parsons. Pretty good little pressure right there. Let's celebrate next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. What we got here? We got some stuff to talk about. Oh, yeah. Join the Supporters Club if you're an absolute psycho, okay? This is available on our YouTube page. What you get when you do that is you get our official Supporters Club badge, and you get access to the exclusive emojis, including the pop emoji, which I know that you guys want to slap a pop emoji in the chat because it's fun. So do it. I dare you. Join our YouTube Supporters Club. Thanks. We also want you to come to Vegas. We are going to Vegas in November when the Cowboys are taking on the Raiders. Geno Smith's fun.
What's up with your boy Afton Genty?
That's early. Running backs are only as good as their offensive lines. Jesse, you didn't know that? Can't block, you can't run.
I wanted them here.
Huh?
I wanted them here.
I do want him here. I would love to have Ashton Genty. That's not a comment that's going to age well for you, Jesse. He played a game. What happened to Jahmyr Gibbs?
What happened to him?
He averaged 2 yards a carry. Does he suck?
What about him?
What about Emeka
Buka?
Talking to the wrong one. I love Emeka Buka. Come to Vegas with us, though. You go to truefantravel.com and you sign up or use the QR code that is on the screen. We're going out there for the Cowboys against the Raiders. I do still believe that the Cowboys are going to beat the Raiders, but the Raiders do have a good quarterback. Geno Smith is good at football. And the Jets tried to ruin him for everyone. He's like if Jameis was good.
Jets ruin everybody.
Geno's like if Jameis made good decisions because he's real aggressive, but not a psychopath. Ethical hooper. What does that mean? Oh, he is very efficient.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a good player. So anyway, we'll see you in Vegas. How about that? It is the DLLS Cowboys podcast. We no longer have Micah Parsons on the team, and so we have to talk about what do we think of.
Hit these super chats first before we get too far in this thing. Just get them out the way.
You're right. Roman Wolf Gaming is in the super chat. Trade first round for Dexter L. Save him from Giants.
If one first round pick can get you Dustin Lawrence, we would have been did it. I don't think one pick will get you.
No, we wouldn't. He makes money.
That's true. That's true.
They'd be like, he takes our pie.
That's true.
And then they would trade for 3 former first-rounders that make a total of $30 million for a year that aren't any good, but they didn't have to give a big signing bonus too. That's what they would do. That would be awesome.
Save Dexter and Malik from the Giants.
I need one more D tackle too. I need one more. Like, you could talk me into the Cowboys going for it this year. We just got to do some stuff. I need to go get a linebacker. I need to go get a D tackle. And I might could dance with that. And I need Jaden Blue to play a bunch. Or I need you to get a running back. But we could do something.
Think he's a healthy scratch this week? I'll talk about that later.
Who, Jaden Blue?
Yeah.
Better not be.
Yeah, it might be.
Better not be.
Might be.
Jimmy Johnson wouldn't have fumble man on this team. Fumble Man be up out of here. I forgot about Fumble Man. Jake drops a touchdown. Fumble Man shows up. CD can't catch. Should have beat the Eagles by 10. Kerry Matthews, Freak Jesus in the Super Chat. The Philly and Cowboys game was equivalent to Titans and Broncos. Both Titans and Cowboys would have won if the receiver could catch a well-thrown ball. Titan receivers were not prepared for what Cam Ward does. Sometimes you won't see the football until it pops out the other side of the line of scrimmage. That dude will throw it from wherever at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Roman Wolf's back in the Super Chat. We need more Pickens and Blue involvement. I do agree with that. I need some. Well, more than 0 would be good. So, yeah, I would like Jaden Blue to be active. We'll start there. And I do think you might. George Pickens is probably the kind of guy that you got to go out of your way to give him the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that'll get him more engaged. Because if you watch him throughout the game, he's supposed to be this elite blocker. And, like, if you run right at him and he's caught a ball recently, yeah, he'll dump truck somebody for you. But if he ain't seen the ball in a while, do a little trotting around.
That's not.
Do a little trotting around.
That's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. You want top level players to do the grunge dirty work. You gotta involve them. You have to. Like, I will say, if there was one thing that Tony Romo was really good at, like when it came like Des Bryant,
here, man, damn.
It was literally like, we've been 3 or 4 plays and we haven't got. You know what? I'm gonna call a smoke route. Just get him the ball.
Let him touch it.
Let him touch it. Like that's what good point guards do. Good point guards know my guy's been, my big man's been patrolling the paint, getting rebounds.
Shaq told you.
Just let me touch it a little bit.
Let me guard the yard.
Yeah, let me
feed me.
You better feed me. So I think that's where you got to kind of understand, and time will tell. Like time will work out between he and Dak Prescott when he has to just know, I got to throw my dog the ball right here just because. And
it's easy to tell that to CD too, because he'll be like, "Hey, what about me?" And you're like, "Stop, drop my damn ball. We'll talk about it later. How about that?"
You can ride that for like 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks you can ride that out. 2 more weeks you can ride that out.
He didn't drop my ball.
Yeah.
How about that?
2 more weeks, you'd be like, he catches it.
Okay, so we have now played 1 football game without Micah Parsons, who now is a Green Bay Packer, and we are not going to talk about how the Packer defense looked incredible, and Micah helped them get a sack, a tackle for loss, and an interception when playing less than half the game. We're not going to talk about any of that. We're going to talk about the Cowboys pass rush and what we make of it after 1 week. And I will tell you, I am concerned about the Cowboys pass rush.
You should be.
And we are getting from the chat multiple people who have seen the number. Cowboys pressure rate in week 1 over 42%, which was, what was that in the league? Fourth in the league, John? Something like that? It was tough.
I think it was third.
Fourth in the league, something like that. So the Cowboys pressure rate is top 5 in the league.
Mm-hmm. Sixth
in the league through week 1. Now we're going to teach you how to interpret numbers. 3-second time to pressure. What that tells you is that the NFL is not going to differentiate how or when you got pressure.
Right.
If the quarterback was ever under pressure on a play, you got a pressure on that play. You did it. The Cowboys did not pressure Jalen Hurts because the Cowboys were getting after the quarterback. The Cowboys pressured Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts wasn't scared of you in any way, shape, or form.
Correct.
The reason that Jalen Hurts was able to scramble so well is because he was not scared to do it. He was willing to stand in that pocket for 3 seconds, look, and then unlike what happened to Jared Goff when he took off, and here come that he didn't even know existed, and definitely didn't know was that fast. Hurts knew there was no one on this team that was going to run him down.
Right.
So he was willing to stand in the pocket, have the longest time to throw in the NFL this week, and he wasn't worried about you. It wasn't under pressure because you were getting close to sacking him. It was under pressure because he stood there all day until somebody finally got to him. And he was like, well, I guess it's time to go. So, yeah, I am worried. To me, technically Sam Williams had the most pressures on the team. I think Dante Fowler is the best pass rusher on this team.
Yes.
And I think if he were, Vach said this on the postgame, if Dante Fowler was my second best pass rusher, he said that would be great. I think that would be fine to good. If Dante Fowler is your second best pass rusher, that's fine, maybe even good. If he's your third best pass rusher, let's go. If he's your best pass rusher, yeesh. And I think that over the course of the season is going to bite them. I don't know who's going to get home. I don't know who's going to. I know they're going to scheme pressure, and some people are looking at the numbers from this week and be like, see, they schemed pressure. They schemed pressure if you mean Jalen Hurts stood there and waited till you got close and then finally was like, fine, I guess I'll run now.
Right.
That was not pressuring the quarterback.
Part of the dirty of that as well, Jeff, is that by the way that they measure pressure, a pressure can register 8 yards outside the pocket after he's already bailed from the pocket.
Oh, okay. So the times when you'd stand there forever, then jog out, and then...
So when you look at the teams that had the longest time to pressure in the NFL this week, 3.44 seconds was the Saints. Who'd they play? Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
It's all the guys who bail from the pocket before there's even pressure, and then the pressure registers by the sideline, and they're like, 7 seconds to pressure. And
we got them. They got a pressure.
But pressure rate through the roof.
They got a pressure. I'm worried about our pass rush.
And you should. And that's when Clarence talks about having a plus player, it's someone who has the ability to go out there and make plays by themselves, outside of the scheme, being able to win a lot of one-on-ones. And you just don't have that right now. I know that you have the addition of Kenny Clark, but he is not Aaron Donald. He's not a guy who's going to go out there and win one-on-one battles like that to pressure the quarterback. You brought in Donovan Ezeraku, your second-round pick, who has a lot of pass rush moves.
He played pretty good run defense this week, but he didn't really rush the passer well.
The thing that Donovan Ezeraku is realizing now is, I'm not the fastest, I'm not the strongest, and I can't confuse these guys who've been around the league. Now, granted, you went up against Jordan Mailata and you went up against Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
2 of the best, right? And so you might not face 2 of the best every single week, but you will face veteran guys who you have to set your moves up. You have to be able to understand to go from speed to power, to go from power to spin to power. Like you have to be able to throw your changeup in the mix to throw these guys off balance. If you start your move 2 steps away, tackles in this league will just look at you and go, son.
Especially the Pro Bowl ones.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl ones, like, son, I saw that in the tunnel. Okay, you can't just do that. And then you need the other guys, like Sam Williams is a guy who just has power and speed and nothing else. And so when he's running down the middle of somebody, once those guys anchor down, you don't come off of that. So it's you don't have the one guy on this defensive line that creates so much havoc and so much pressure by themselves that now you're able to feed off of that. That's why guys, when Michael was here, guys who were C-level players became B-level players. Right. And guys who were B-level players became B-plus level players because of what the effects that Micah had on the defense, on the offensive line, allowed you to do certain things in your own right. And, most guys will tell you having a guy like Micah is how other guys get paid. I'm not saying that Oster didn't have the right to get
Van Ness, who just had the most pressures he's ever had in the game.
I'm not saying that Oster didn't get paid on his own right, but when you have that guy next to you, it makes life a little bit easier for you and allows you to be able to be more effective and more efficient in what you do each and every week. And because Eberflus isn't a guy who likes to blitz a lot or create the different type of pressures, they're not going to find it one-on-one.
We might need to talk to Flus about that real quick. Can I talk to Flus for
You
a
got
second?
it, man. He's going to have to do something.
Hey, Flus. I don't have these numbers in front of me, but I did watch the game. I know you got pressure on 3 out of 4 dropbacks during this one little stretch. And it was because they just blitzed the corner every time.
Yeah.
But they started running corner blitz. Well, now you had a little something. Now
but find a corner who wants to tackle, though. Find a corner who wants to get in there and get a little dirty.
See, I feel like for a game where I'm trying to think of all the different positives, as I start going through individual players and units, I feel like I'm pointing out a lot of negatives because you're right, and I don't want the fan base to turn on him completely because he's a nice player. Deron Bland don't want to tackle any more than Diggs does. He doesn't. Throughout his career, the numbers back it up. And maybe it's not that he's opposed to it. Maybe he's just not real good at it. Because, he's not in a hurry to go get involved.
But this defense is going to expose that. This is why you heard Eberflus talk about, I need more than willing participants. This defense funnels its stuff out to the cornerbacks. It's supposed to, you got to be a willing participant in this thing. You got to be more than a willing participant. And if you have Diggs and you have a Bland who don't want to really get in there and get dirty, it's going to be bad because this defense is designed for your cornerback to get in there and get a little dusty and a little dirty?
I do want to shout out, because I didn't get time for it in What Does the Tape Say? I do want to shout out to Kenny Clark, who over the course of his career, like, he's a solid run defender. Mm-hmm. He did a really good job in week 1. Again, if you just look up people's grades, they won't say he was the Cowboys' best run defender on the field. He was. It's so night and day when they take off their top 2 D tackles and put on the other 2. When Jay Toya takes the field or Solomon Thomas is on the field, it's so different.
And the biggest difference,
Kenny Clark is not getting punked by one guy. And he will likely punk him.
The biggest difference, Kenny Clark gets off the ball. He gets off the ball violently. He gets off the ball. As the ball is moving, Kenny is moving. And that's, I cannot tell you how important that is for an interior defensive lineman.
And he plays low.
He plays low, he gets off the ball, and he's physical.
Yep.
Those are the three things that they've been begging Mozzie and others to do that they won't. And that simply looks so much better because Kenny gets off and he does that. He's low, he's fast, he's physical. That's going to help you recreate the line of scrimmage every single time and put you in a better situation.
He's going to be good for us. But we need some more. We need some more people, Jerry. We need some more people.
Go get Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah. Wait, did he do a dumb thing last
night? Yeah, he got an unsportsmanlike. Yeah, it's all right. Bring him.
Yeah.
Bring him.
You said his name, and I immediately thought of, he screwed something up yesterday, right?
Just bring him. It's okay.
Richard's in the super chat. What about bringing in James at linebacker to add speed? I am open to the idea of Shamar James. You better figure out how you're going to contribute on special teams, but I'm down for you to be active on game day. I'm down for Maris Leafau to play more snaps, and I know where those snaps are coming from. I don't know if the coaching staff agrees, but I know where they should be coming from. Coming up next to the DLLS Cowboys podcast, let's take our first peek at the New York Giants as the Cowboys are getting ready to go to 1-1. You can book that. It's next. This is it for the Die Hard sale. It ends tonight. CeeDee Lamb needs your support today more than ever. He needs you right now. After all the joy he's brought you, my dog's named for him. Go ahead and get you this shirt, okay? This is the last night for the limited time, $36 to become a Die Hard for an entire year. The football club special. You see the 88 Club shirt there. That's one of the 3 different football club T-shirts that we've got. And then we've got a bunch of other ones that are our recent Dallas releases in the merch store. Why sign up to be a Die Hard? 1, to show support for your peeps. That's us.
That's us.
2, because it actually serves you. What you get is access to our website with no ads, access to our Die Hard only level content, access to my favorite part, our Discord. I'm probably just going to start talking to people every night about Dungeon Crawler Carl, the book I'm reading.
I saw it at the bookstore the other day, Jeff. Thought of you. I was like, then I saw it was like a mile thick, and I was like, I don't have time yet. I'll get to it.
Okay, see, I don't view that as a thick book.
Really? Oh, actually, you know what? It was one of the sequels. One of the sequels was like triple the length.
I'm almost done with 2, and then I'll be starting 3. But like to me, 1,400. That's a nice hefty.
Yeah, but
book.
you've read every book that's existed. What, Jesse? Is books WPS now too?
No, I love books.
Don't like books?
I don't like that. I don't like books that much.
You got to have the Bible and something else.
No. I told you I picked up books this year. I read a book a month.
You're right.
But I'm not reading 1,400 books.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I think is long. Dungeon Crawler Carl, I feel like those are like 600. Like they're not.
What is Dungeon Crawler Carl? What is that?
Oh, you would like the foot fetish angle of the book.
Well, sign me up.
Yeah.
What page is that on? Let's get right to it.
The AI who is running the dungeon that he gets forced into is way into his feet and tries to give him items that make him step on stuff.
I don't want his feet. I don't want his feet. Her feet?
Sign up to be a Die Hard or else, which is, of course, not a threat. The New York Giants is who the Cowboys are going to take on Sunday at noon. Make sure you're here with us for the pregame at 11:30. It is a noon game, right? I believe I looked that up.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, the Giants are bad enough that they have the Cowboys playing a noon game on a Sunday. That's how terrible the New York Giants are. And they got thumped by Washington to start their season, who I think Washington's a candidate for a fall-off, by the way. I just want to put that in the universe before it happens.
Really?
Yep, I think that they're going to win like 9 games. I just want that in the universe.
Okay.
They get to start with the Giants. Jaden Daniels is great. Jaden Daniels is wonderful. But I think the guys that they're adding, like they're kind of adding older guys. They don't have young guys who are like, oh, watch out, this guy's coming. Like they got what they got, and they're only getting older.
They got running
plus
back.
Jaden. Who?
The Merritt kid.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Everybody's real excited about a 7th-round rookie running back. Yeah, that's cool. No, it's all good. No, it's all good. No, it's all good.
We'll
Just
let
get
it
ready
play
for the
out.
fall off.
We'll let it play out.
But they got to play the Giants in week 1. Let's check their Vegas number and see if we can make a pinky toe bet on Washington.
I'll take it.
Hold on, let me see.
I want action.
Commanders over under win total. It's 9.5. So if they win 10, you win. If they win 9, I win.
I'll take it.
Let's go. Pinky toe.
Action. I want the action.
All right, pinky toe. I got them at 9 or less. You got them at 10 or more. Done. But they got to open the season against the Giants, and the Giants suck. And I don't know how the Giants, because I feel like every year you can look at the Giants and you go, but they got some dudes.
Yeah.
How do they suck? And the answer is always the same. Well, it was Daniel Jones and the offensive line. Now it's the offensive line and the next guy after Daniel Jones, which is Russ. And Daniel Jones now is a baller in Indy. I don't know if you saw that.
Hooping in Indy.
But yeah, so the Giants, Russell Wilson started week 1. Brian Daboll did not say that Russell Wilson is going to start week 2. And so if you guys are familiar with my brand, you know what I want. The Giants have a quarterback on the roster.
Give us Jameis.
Probably gives them a better chance to win, maybe, but definitely gives them a better chance at entertainment value. And I want the Cowboys to get some picks. And so I hope they put Jameis in.
You know how bad it has to be, at least offensively. Malik Neighbors is crashing out in the first half of the first game.
Yeah, he's already done.
You know how toxic that has to be, that your star receiver has to be calmed down by your head coach in the first half of the first game?
You know who could fix that?
Jameis can get it done.
But Jameis would walk in that huddle, make some sort of incredible speech or joke, and then be like, I'm going to throw you the ball 25 times today.
Right.
Way down there.
Right.
Does that sound fun to you?
Yeah.
Let's do it, little buddy. When neighbors be like, okay. Like, Jameis is straight up, we're probably going to lose by 20. Me and you?
We're going to be locked
Balling.
in. We're going to be locked in.
Balling.
Yeah.
He'd be like, yeah, he'll have a great time. But anytime the coach starts talking about quarterback stuff and they have a rookie on the roster, I feel like that's the coach getting ready to be like, we're playing Jackson Dart the rest of the way, but that's not what I want. What I want is some Jameis in my life, and I don't know if I can have it.
I think you'll get some of it. Because I think before you go to Jackson Dart, you got to go to Jameis. You go Russell, because here's the thing. Once you go to Dart,
Can't go back.
you can't go back. That's it. That's it.
Once you go Dart, you'll never go fart.
Once you go Dart, you can never depart.
There it is. That was
You
way
know what I'm
better.
saying?
Yeah.
Once you go Dart, you
That
can
was
never
way better.
depart. So I think you'll see maybe Russ one more time, then Jameis, and then when they say, Daboll, we're about to fire you, play the young kid. Then the season is already over. By the time we get to week 6, I think that's when you're going to see Jackson Dart. And you'll see him week 6 on. And they'll get the reps in with him, and then they'll fire Daboll at the end of the year, and then they'll move on with the next head coach. And Dart will be there.
I need Jameis because I need Diggs to get a pick. I need Bland to get a pick. I need to get my season. I need to get my season going.
I don't think you'll see Jameis this week.
That's tough.
I don't think you see Jameis this week.
Do you think this is a? I'm retired from Micah Parsons conversation, so I'm gonna turn it into a question. Do you think maybe we won't get a ton of interceptions out of Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs because maybe part of the reason that multiple corners had 7,000 picks in different seasons might have had something to do with someone else on the team helping them get those?
It usually, most of the time, it's tied together. Your pass rush and your pass coverage are tied, right? You get good pass coverage, I get sacks. I get to the quarterback quick, the ball comes out quick, comes out accurate, you get interceptions. So not having that, definitely, and the fact that you're playing a lot of this cover 3. So you're already playing off. It's not like you're playing man. It's not like the ball is coming out where you're like right there for it. So unless it's a hit and the ball flutters in the air and it picks off, it gets picked off, I don't know if those interception numbers are going to be where you want them to be because you won't have the pressure. The pressure just won't be there.
Now, are we allowed to cover that Micah Parsons referred to everything as super toxic before he was traded for the Cowboys?
I'm going to let you handle this one.
These last 6 months were super draining, super toxic for everyone. It's something that I don't think no player should have to go through, Parsons said, after they had won their football game. These last 6 months, super. The fact that I was traded a week before the season was really outrageous and rough. It's something where I could have been. The fact that I was traded. Why do they keep putting them twice? I could have been with these guys getting better and better, and we could have had probably an even more dominant start. And so he said toxic and all that stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Which is whatever, right? He's gone now, and I just hope that the Packers find a way to lose a whole bunch of games, because if the Packers lose a whole bunch of games, we get a better draft pick.
Yep.
Problem is, 1 week into the season, it doesn't look like they're going to lose a whole bunch of games. Looks like they might actually win a whole bunch of games.
Yeah.
And so in that case, I'm not happy. Because if they're going to go to the NFC title game and we're going to go to the NFC title game, then our picks are going to be like 28 and 30.
When you say we.
So they would be the Packers.
They would be the Packers. Got that part.
We.
You mean like
The
DLLS?
The Cowboys.
Oh, I thought you meant us as we. Oh, you meant the Cowboys was going to the NFC Championship game.
If both teams are going to the NFC title game, we're not going to get good draft picks. So we'll just have to beat them in the NFC title game and win the Super Bowl.
Well, that's some lofty goals you got there.
If Fowler kept his pass rush lane, he might have had 2 or 3 more sacks. I don't know if I remember those plays. I will say if Fowler had kept his containment, you definitely would have had 2 or 3 more really good plays against
Jalen Hurts would have had 60 rushing yards.
Yeah. You would have had some of that action. I forgot where I was going next. Oh, man, that game was a bloodbath. The Lions without their OC are.
So does that mean that the OC in Chicago now would make Chicago really good? Don't we have to play Chicago this year? We have to play Chicago this year, don't we?
I hope. Chicago's not any good. You see Chicago had a fake story written, kind of? Well, not a fake story. I wouldn't call it fake. There's a real weird fake reporter guy that is from Wisconsin, and he used to do Packer stuff. And he's part of the bit every year where the real old guy puts out a bunch of anonymous quotes that just trash prospects, all of them. And then this guy wrote like a hit piece on Caleb Williams where he probably insinuated that something about sexuality and that he doesn't study and he's an idiot, and claimed that, like, this is from 35 anonymous sources, bro. This is what's going on with Caleb, because that's the sort of stuff that happens sometimes. Jeff, are you drunk? No.
Not yet.
But I do owe the city $215 because I got pulled over this morning. So I'm in an interesting headspace. I almost got deported. They almost sent me with the thick Latinas. They almost got me. So anyway, the Lions, yes. I absolutely believe that. Like, this happens to teams. You lose coordinators, and sometimes those coordinators aren't even good head coaches. We'll see. North Carolina man Ben Johnson might be a great head coach. I know for sure, or I think I know for sure, that he's a really good offensive coordinator. And now through 1 week, the Lions, the number 1 offense in football, is bad.
Yeah.
And I do think that, yeah, the Lions could be a team that's in trouble because you lost too much. I love Dan Campbell. I don't think Dan Campbell is in there drawing up all the best plays. I think Dan Campbell's like, wait, where's the next guy who's going to draw up all the best plays so I can tell these guys to chew on people or whatever. Like, my job is to get these dudes ready to play football, and I will do that part. But if I lose the guys who give me the advantage on how we're going to score all the points, then we're in trouble, which you should be able to relate to, Cowboy fans, because I think you have a better guy calling the plays this year than you did last year. And I didn't know if that was going to be the case. But through 1 week, I do believe that is the case. I believe Mike McCarthy was a little outdated. And our guy Schotty is going to do some things that are way better. Lions are missing Frank Ragnow. That's probably true also. Losing your best players is really, really hard, as the Cowboys are going to find out with their pass rush over the course of this season. But it's not going to matter because we're going to score 40 every week.
Going to have to.
At least 31.
You're going to have to score at least 30 points a game.
We're going to need 30.
And,
31.
you know, that triggers me because the last time I had this debate of the Cowboys have to score a certain amount of points, lost the job.
Huh?
Lost the job.
Who?
I got into a little argument with a little weasel.
Oh,
about 30
that's when
points
you
a
got
game.
the tizzy?
That's when I lost the job.
You don't know how many they're going to have to score?
That's when I lost the job.
Did I miss any super chats?
So
I didn't miss one, did I?
So don't piss me off.
I won't. All right, thanks for stopping by, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow. Go Cowboys, going to the Super Bowl. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through. Be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.
Live like...
We all city like the mayor.